Hey guys, it's Huck Sports Cards here. Hope everybody's having a blessed morning. Well guys, it's the 4th of July. I got a day off from work today, so that's awesome. So I wanted to put out a video. I haven't been doing as many videos as I used to. Man, I've been so busy. I'm glad June is gone and we're into July now, because June I was so busy. Had a wedding, ended up going to Vegas, obviously working at UPS, and trying to start my new second job, which is my eBay store. And I just got my store up and put a bunch of stuff on there. So if you get a chance, check that out. It's Huck Sports Cards and Collectibles. That's the name of my eBay store. Trying to put up stuff. I'll be doing that today as well. But guys, today on this episode, I want to do a VR for Dustin and Blake. And it's about your favorite team challenge. And I want to do that about my favorite team. I saw that on Picker Jim's channel the other day. And so I think that Dustin and Blake had did this about a month ago. So I might be a day late and $1 short. But I want to still do one because it's a great subject. So I want to do my favorite team. Now, as most of y'all know that follow my channel and everything, I have 3 teams that I follow in Major League Baseball. One, the Yankees, because my dad was a Yankee fan. So I grew up liking the Yankees. You know, back then when my dad was a kid, you either loved the Yankees or hated them. Well, he loved them and loved Mickey Mantle and stuff like that. So I grew up watching the Yankees. And another team of mine was the Cincinnati Reds and the Big Red Machine, because I had aunts and uncles that lived down in Tampa. And so the Reds were right there close with spring training. So we would go down there during spring break from school and we would go to spring training. So I used to see the Big Red Machine in the 70s and early 80s and stuff like that. And we live only a couple hours away from Cincinnati when I was a kid. And then I lived in St. Louis in the mid to late 80s, which that was a great time to be living in St. Louis if you were a baseball fan, because the Cardinals were great back then, you know. So, but guys, my favorite team all time would have to be the Reds in the 70s. The Big Red Machine. That was, you know, because I got to interact with a lot of those guys during spring training. All those guys were great. Actually, the only one that wasn't was George Foster. He's the only one I think that I didn't get an autograph from when I was a kid. He wouldn't sign stuff, wouldn't even look at you. I remember, I think it was 78. You know, I had gotten everybody's autograph on the whole team except for George Foster, and he just wouldn't sign. He just kept walking by and wouldn't look at you, you know, because back then you could get pretty close to the teams and everything. But and I remember my dad telling me that I think he had just come off hitting 52 home runs, I think, in the 77 season, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, he wasn't one of the higher paid players on that team. Obviously, he had Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, you know, and stuff like that. So he wasn't one of the higher paid players, which he probably should have been at that time, but he wasn't. But guys, that's my favorite team, is a team in the 70s. So and I guess the other part of that challenge, you're not allowed to show the same player twice out of your top 10 players on your favorite team. And so, but mine's going to pretty much be the Big Red Machine. So guys, I want to show you that now. So let's go take a look at it. All right, guys. Well, here's my favorite team, the Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine. These are their cards from 1975. And this is the position they played. So first off, at left field is George Foster. And I wasn't trying to put George Foster down. He was probably a really nice guy, but like I said, my dad had said he was underpaid at the time and should have been getting paid more. So he was probably a little bit angry with the Reds. So he might have took it out on the fans just a little bit by not giving autographs. But he was one heck of a player, one of the best in the 70s right there for the Reds. Then you had in center field, Cesar Geronimo, great ball player, great center fielder, awesome player for the Reds. Then in right field, you had Ken Griffey, which
if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have batted second in the lineup. I can't really remember now. Like I said, in '75, I was 7 years old. But I just remember watching him. So, and then first base, Tony Perez. Love Tony Perez. I remember him, and so Dan Dreesen would play first base some too. After Perez left, where did he go to? I think he went to the Expos at first after he left the Reds, and Dan Dreesen took over. I just remember those two guys being the first baseman for the Reds when I was a kid. But yeah, Perez was just a great ball player, Hall of Famer. And you got Joe Morgan, another Hall of Famer, and was just a great second baseman. Really was. Could do it all. Fast, fielded great, hit it great. I loved it when he would come up to bat and do that little flap on his arm before he was ready to hit. That was always pretty cool. I remember watching that as a kid, trying to do that, but I stopped doing it because it didn't work for me like it did for him. And then you got shortstop, Davey Concepcion, that should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure why he's not in the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you. He's got the numbers better than some of the guys that are shortstops that are in the Hall of Fame. So, hopefully one day with Veterans Committee, I'll put him in, but who knows. Then another guy that should be in the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose. Although it has outfield on this card, he played third base in the '75 season. So, and then at catcher, one of my all-time favorite players, Johnny Bench. I mean, he tore it up in the '70s. He won MVPs in 1970 and '72. Just incredible ball player. He is the greatest catcher of all time, without a doubt, in my mind. I know a lot of people say Rodriguez could be, but in my mind, there's no doubt that Johnny Bench is the greatest of all time. And I could have picked a lot of different pitchers off this team because they definitely had a really good staff. Raleigh Eastwick would do a lot of closing, and I had some good conversations with Raleigh Eastwick when I was a kid. He was a really nice guy. Don Gullett, I had to pick him as my favorite pitcher on this team. And last but not least, the greatest manager in my mind all time, Sparky Anderson. He even won a title with Tigers too. So did he just have 3 World Series championships? I can't remember now, but I know he did have 3. But guys, that is the starting lineup for the 1975 Cincinnati Reds Big Red Machine, and that's my favorite team all time.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. And guys, like I said, check out my new eBay store. It's Huck Sports Cards and Collectibles. If you see something on there you like, feel free to email me. My email is in the comment stuff there, and you can email me, and I can give you a better deal than what I can give you on eBay and everything. So yeah, definitely, if you see something on the store that you like, just let me know, and we can work a deal out or whatever like that. But guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I ask that you do so. Guys, I appreciate you watching today, and until next time, we'll see you later.